That's crazy. You know, what's also crazy about early on in your career, not just, you know, having Rakim, you know, playing your demo, you know, working with G-Rap, Tretch, another big guy from there, one of my favorites and one of the GOATs, KRS-One. You know, you got to work with him on Heal Yourself and that album. And then, you know, you were on my favorite BDP album of all time, Sex and Violence, on one of my favorite songs, Ruff Ruff. You murdered that verse. Still to this day, I know that verse back and forth.
Thank you.
Talk about the importance of KRS-One, because he's very picky and selective about who he works with, even back then. What was it about your relationship with him and him being a mentor, and just how he took you under his wing and just really kind of groomed you early on back then? Talk about that a little bit, because, you know, he's obviously, you know, one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, Kris is an MC's MC. Like, he, to me, out of all the MCs that I've ever worked with, probably the one that I think mastered the art of MCing the best. Like, as far as all of the elements that MCs have. Like, Kris is so amazing at all of the elements, you know, all the different broad ranges of subjects that he raps about. His live performances, and he's very natural with his delivery. Like, he has the ability to kind of mold direction with songs through titles and subject matter, like, better than mostly anybody I know. Some guys stick to one thing because they find themselves stronger at that. Kris is different. I got him singing a hook on Royalty Check, and nobody ever heard Kris do that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, his working with him was always like the G-Rap syndrome. Like, you gotta come with it. I remember doing the Ruff Ruff. I came to the studio, and I brought him a bag of 45s, and I was like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna give you this bag of 45s. It's a lot of joints in here. Like, you can sample from." So he gave them to D Square, and he said, "Are you ready to get in the booth and do your shit?" I said, "Yeah, no doubt. I wrote this rhyme before I got to the lab, so I wasn't, you know, sitting in there thinking about what I wanted to say." So I went in the booth, and I'm like saying to myself, well, being that it's KRS-One, I thought, you know, I had this rhyme. It was very pro-black, positive, you know, black women, black people, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, it's dope. When I walked out, he was like, yeah, it's dope, it's dope. But I want the dude I've been hearing about, like the guy that I know everybody's all scared of. And I said, oh, word? Oh, okay, you want me to go there? He's like, yeah. So I went back in the booth. I said, yo, turn the music back on again. So I went back in there. I said, yo, just record me over top of what I just did. And I laid, you know, listen as I flex, because I'm about to rip up shop. It's the return of the hip-hop master, Freddie Foxx. I was working on that verse for something else. And then I just said, you know, but I had this thing about writing these long rhymes. You know, because I came from a crew that everybody would say, like, we wasn't counting 16s. We was just rocking until it felt good. And I just wrote that verse. And when I came out that booth, he was like, yo. He was like super hype about that shit. And I was like, that's what you want. That's what you get. You know what I mean? And that's how I delivered that rhyme.
Wow. You know what's funny about that is that we had Hakeem Green on here a couple of times. Shout out to Hakeem Green. Right. He told a similar story. I forget what song. It might have been Manism. He was rhyming like, you know, pro-black, and first one was like, can you rhyme about weed and guns? Like, and he fucked it up and shit because he was, you know, expecting to do some conscious type shit. So
yeah, Kris, he didn't want that for me. He was like, no, dog. Matter of fact, there have been times when Kris, me and him did an album together called Street Poison, and he produced all of these beats because he was like, I'm gonna get you signed. Watch, I'm getting you signed, and he did Street Poison, and he gave me these hard KRS style beats, and I rocked on them shits. And I'm talking, and we had this cover of a person sticking a hypodermic needle in their arm with a turntable and a microphone. It's a microphone needle with a turntable being, you know, shot into the arm of the person, and he played it for a label, and they was like, you know, that delivery, that believability frightened the person that heard it so much. He was like, no, he sounds like he really will do the stuff that he's saying. I don't think that's something for me. Like, he came back and told me that shit. Like, yo, dog, is everybody I play it for scared to death of your delivery? Like, I started, that bark. I was barking early in the game when everybody was, doing kick it, check it while I wreck it. I'm a check it while I wasn't doing none of that shit. I wasn't rapping like that. I had a different type of, and I mean that was cool for what it was, but I wasn't doing that shit. I had something else going. I had something else going on.
Right?
Where's that album at? Where's that album at, bro?
Word. Where is that album?
It's on a DAT. It's on a DAT somewhere. It's definitely on a DAT machine. A DAT somewhere. Yeah, it's on a DAT somewhere.
I got a DAT machine.
I gotta find the DAT. But it's definitely, and it's so funny because it's really a hardcore album, and I never forget us being in the studio late nights, man, and I was hustling maybe a few blocks away from the studio in almost close to Midtown. And he would come down to where I was at and get me. Come on, man, I gotta get you out these streets, man. And just, jump in the car. We're gonna go to the lab. And so,
speaking of Midtown, my brother MF Grimm says he says that you're one of the most influential MCs to him. You know what I'm saying? And he's thankful to know you. So my brother MF Grimm, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love Grimm, man. That's a great dude, man.
Yeah,
I know Grimm.
Take your brothers with you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Salute to MF Grimm. That's gangster.
Word up.